Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about prices. A few people have asked me to do a video about how to set their prices. So what I did was I typed up a table and some other points that I want to talk about that will be helpful, just some tips and things like that. Keep in mind that what I'm saying is not an absolute law. If you disagree with anything that I'm saying here, that's totally fine. Do whatever works for you, but this is basically just a guideline. In this video, I will not tell you what to charge. What I will do is give you some guidelines so that you can determine, I guess, what range you fall in. Whether you're on the low end or in between or on the high end. And yeah, so let's get to it. This is the table that I created. Like I said, there's no absolutes. Anything can fall into any place. This is just a general guideline, okay? So I don't want anybody to get offended or, anything like that. So let's just get into it. So when you're talking about prices and what you want to charge, there are four main things you want to think about. Number one, your skill level. Let me zoom in here. Not too much. Your skill level. Your skill level determines what you deserve to get paid. Okay. The second thing is products. That means what does it cost for me to do these services? Then location and clientele. Those are demographics. So you need to determine, the environment that you're in, because that sets the tone for what a client is willing to pay. And then last but not least, of course, your clientele. In most cases, you're going to have to charge what they can afford. In most cases, not all, but we'll get into that later. So you need to be honest about your skills, the products you're using, your location, and your clientele. Okay? So then let's get into the three categories that I made. And I hope you can see this pretty well. So the first category is what I would say is on the low end. And when I say on the low end, I'm not trying to be insulting or anything like that, but basically this would be a student, someone who is still in school, still learning, or someone who is a newbie. And a newbie is someone who is just fresh out of school. They're just starting, they're getting their feet wet, and they're still trying to master their technique. They haven't quite gotten their flow down, and they may still be shaky on a few things. Okay, that's the first skill category. The second one is seasoned or experienced, and this is a person who's been working consistently for about 4 or 5 years, and they have their flow down, they have their style, they do good work, but are always willing to learn. Okay. And even myself, I've been doing nails a little over 10 years. I would still consider myself in the experienced category. I am not a veteran. I'm not a pro, because that's a whole nother category. Veterans and pros, these are master nail techs. They've worked for many years. Most times, they're a brand educator, a salon owner. They might be a school instructor, or this is somebody who competes. This is somebody who is just a master at everything, and they are actually even creating techniques and trends and things like that. So even for myself, even though I've been working for a long time, I don't consider myself a pro. There's still a lot that I'm learning, especially since I've taken like a long hiatus from doing nails. So yeah, I'm trying to get my feet back in there. But so those are the three different skill categories. Okay. Then we want to talk about products. Okay. Someone who is a student or a newbie, they might have to purchase inexpensive products, things that are purchased at a local beauty supply or a drugstore, Of course, that's not an absolute. There are plenty of people that are in school or fresh out of school that can afford, decent products, but I'm just trying to create an idea here, okay? So, and then, I mean, there might be some seasoned and experienced people who are, purchasing inexpensive stuff. But again, this is the tier that I'm trying to paint a picture of. Seasoned and experienced person, they might buy medium range products, and these are like, your typical name brand professional products, okay? And there's tons of those. I don't even need to get into names, but we all know, some of the more popular, product lines, okay? And then a veteran or a pro, I mean, most times, but not always, they're using high-end products, really pricey stuff. They, can use the newest technology, the newest lamps and things like that. What's that thing, that dust collector? It's called a Valentino Beauty Pure. It's like $400. It's a dust collector. And, I mean, I've only seen pros, purchase it. Obviously, anybody can buy it, but I'm just making a point here. So veterans and pros, they're usually 9 times out of 10 using the best stuff, especially if they are a brand representative, then, they're getting, good stuff all the time. Okay. So then we want to talk about location. Okay. And typically, if you're fresh out of school and you're not that experienced, you're 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be working in the best places. You're going to have to start out at the bottom, and I can speak for myself. I certainly did. So most times, you'll end up working in like the neighborhood place, or like a shopping center type storefront place, or you might be working from home. Now, I included working from home in each of these because I want it to be clear. Just because you work at home does not mean that you're low end or anything like that. You can be a veteran and be working from home and being very selective about, who you let in and that kind of thing. You can be experienced and work from home. Working home is just a personal choice. It just means you don't want to deal with all the stuff that comes with working in a salon. You don't want to deal with all the expensive overhead, dealing with other people, the competitiveness, the cattiness. It just means you want to work for yourself, okay? And that is a wonderful thing. So working from home can fall into any of those categories. But, okay, so we discussed that. Seasoned, experienced nail techs are usually, they're working in a step up, usually in like salons that are like in the suburbs, more of like the salon and spa type places where people get their hair colored and, get makeovers and things like that. They might work in salons that are in busy downtown areas, which are usually a little bit more expensive. And they may work in chain salons, like a Mario Tricosi or a Paul Mitchell or a Veda or something like that, okay? Then you have veterans and pros. I mean, this isn't an absolute. They can be anywhere. They can be in a high-end salon or spa. They can be working in a school. They can be teaching, doing classes, traveling, that kind of stuff, or they could be working from home, okay? So then the next thing we'll talk about is the clientele. In most cases, you have to charge what your clients can afford. There are some exceptions for that, and we'll get into that later. But let's talk about the student and the newbie. Most times your clients might be working class people, or, high school kids or college kids, family members and friends and things like that, that may only get their nails done sporadically. They're probably, not regular clients. I mean, you may have a few regular clients, but most times these are like what I call fly-by-nights. They just get their nails done for special occasions, and, that's about it. They might come back for a couple fills and then they disappear, And then also these individuals have a tight budget, okay? So this is the picture of, the client in this kind of situation. Typically, these clients can only afford a full set that's about $20 or $25, okay, or in between that range. Then we want to get into your middle class clients or upper middle class clients. And these are people who can afford regular appointments, okay? These are people who book ahead, who, they have regular standing appointments. They value getting their nails done. It's not, a luxury that, or it's not something that, is a luxury. No, it is a luxury. What am I trying to say? You know what I mean? They can do it regularly. It's not an issue for them, okay? And typically clients in this range, they can pay for a set that's $30 to $40 or maybe even, up to $50, okay? So that would be, like your mid-range client. Then there are your wealthy clients. They might not be wealthy, but they have a lot of money to spend or throw away. And these clients are just like the mid-range clients. They get regular appointments, but not only that, they want to be pampered. They want the best. They want the advanced techniques. They want everything that's new. If it's gel polish, shellac, all of that, whatever is the good stuff, they want it. And they want the best products. They want scrubs and masks and all the good stuff, okay? And they tip very well. So that would be your client that falls into this range. So what I've done here is just painted a picture of where you might fall in line as far as your skills. Thinking about your product range, okay? Are you using inexpensive stuff? Are you using medium range stuff? Are you using pricey stuff? Now, I will always tell someone to use what you can afford, but if you can afford something better, invest in something better, okay? But know that just because you use high-end products and you have newbie skills, that's not going to be very smart, okay? You don't have to overinvest and buy expensive stuff if you don't know how to use it, okay? So keep that in mind. And we discussed location, what situation you might be in to work in, and your clientele, okay? So think about those things, and then I have some points, some extra things that I want to talk about. And let me fold my paper up. So the first thing is, like I said, be honest about your skills, what products you can afford and what your clients can pay, okay? Think really hard about that. If okay, I'm okay, but I could use some work, then you might not want to be charging an arm and a leg for your services. Be honest about what you can afford, like I just said. Buy what you can afford, but if you can, invest in something a little bit better, and know what your clients can pay. Another thing you want to do is what's called market research. Market research is when you find out what your competitors charge. And I don't care what your working situation is, if there are other nail techs in your city breathing the same air as you, they are your competitors, okay? So what you want to do is call around or, look online to see what they charge. See what everybody is charging and kind of put yourself in the average. You know what I mean? Like kind of, price yourself around what your competitors charge, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. If you're really good, if you're like a seasoned, experienced nail tech or a pro, no, you should not be charging what chop shops charge. We're not even going to talk about chop shops, okay? That's that's not even, in the discussion. But just be reasonable, because your clients are always going to say, well, they charge this for this over here. And unless you are a pro, and you're able to tell them, well, you can go over there because I'm not budging. 9 times out of 10, you want to be reasonably priced with your competitors, okay? This next point is very important. Constantly offering discounts will create discount clients. If you're somebody that's always offering sales and specials and, half off a full set, or, $15 fills, or two, free nail art and things like that, you're only going to get clients that come for the discount. That does not help very well with creating regular clients. You have to train your clients to pay your prices, period. This is what I charge. This is what it costs all the time. Okay? If you always offer discounts and sales because you're desperate to get people in your chair, you're only going to get fly-by-night clients. You're only going to get people, well, what's the special? Well, what's on sale? You know, and they're only going to come for that and then disappear until the next special. Okay? So don't always offer discounts. Now, I will tell you how to reward regular clients, but constantly offering discounts, that's not the way. Okay? In this day and age, at the very least, never do a set for less than $25. It's just too much work. And this really, really, really bothers me, even for newbies, even for people who are, you know, fresh out of school. The very least you can charge for a full set, you should charge for a full set, is $25. That's just basic, square, you know, acrylic, gel, whatever it is, usually acrylic, but $25 is a reasonable price for a regular full set. Okay? When I see people charging $20 and $18 for a full set, it's too much work. Think of all the work that you do when you do a full set. The prep and the cleaning up the cuticles. 9 times out of 10, people's nails are in horrendous condition. So you got to do all this cleanup and getting them ready. And then the tips and the filing and the buffing and just, it's so much work. You know, you should at least be charging $25 for a full set, okay? So if you aren't, you deserve a raise. You should increase your prices to $25, okay? And again, that's just for a basic, short, square, full set. Now, I get a lot of questions from people who are in school or people who are practicing, you know, they're newbies and they don't feel right charging people because they really just need the practice. That's up to you, but at the very least, charge for your products because products aren't free, okay? So, you know, at the least charge, you know, $15 or something, 10 or 15. I know when I did that when I was in school and I was practicing, I would do my friends and family and stuff like that. I would charge, you know, $10 to $15, okay? You need something. Don't do anything for free, okay? Or at least barter, you know, trade favors or something like that, but don't do anything for free, okay? If you are the bomb at doing nails, charge what you're worth and don't apologize. And this is for my seasoned, experienced people, my pros and things like that. If you are good and you know you're good and your clients know you're good, charge what you deserve and do not budge on that, okay? Because, you know, people have to value you. If you don't value what you do, nobody else will, okay? Another good point for services and creating prices is to charge by length. This is very helpful. So like I just said, a basic short, square, full set will be about $25. Okay, let's just go to medium then. They want medium length, take it up another $5. You know, that might be $30. Then they want long, you know, that might be $35 or $40, okay? You have to charge by length because the longer the nail is, the more product you're using, the more time it takes, you know, to do that, okay? So always charge by length. I think that is a very, very, very helpful thing to do when setting prices. Another thing I know that some people do is they charge by shape. And that's also a very good thing to do as well. You know, square nails are relatively easy to shape. Round and almond, that takes a little bit more work. And stilettos, you know, coffin, all of that stuff, that takes a lot of time to file those nails like that and get it right. So I would recommend you charge by shape as well, you know, or throw in, you know, a $3 to $5 upgrade for those shapes, okay? So that's another thing. Nail art is a luxury. You need to always charge for nail art, okay? You should be paid for your creativity and the extra supplies. Think about that. You spend a lot of money on nail art and nail art supplies. That's just like your products. You need to be charging for that. And, you know, like I said, your creativity, the extra time it takes, you know, some nail art is really time intensive. And so you need to be charging that. Don't ever give nail art away for free, ever. That just, you have to charge for that, okay? And then here we are talking about rewarding regular clients. So, you know, you have people that come to you faithfully. They hardly ever cancel. You know, they treat you good. They always pay. You know, they tip, etc., etc. You can reward them every now and then, you know, on special occasions. If, you know, they have something coming up, you know, you can give them a discount, or, you know, throw in something, a pampering thing, like, you know, a paraffin wax, or a mask, or exfoliation, you know, something like that. Or, you know, how some people have the business cards, and, you know, you punch off every time they come, and then by the fifth one, you know, they get a free something, you know. So you can do that for your regular clients. That's when it's okay to give a discount. But don't just have discounts just for any and everybody, because, you know, people are only going to come for that. Okay? And then my last tip is never stop learning. Okay? Take classes, invest in yourself, because, you know, the industry is always changing, trends are changing. You have to stay on top of, you know, what's hot right now. Order DVDs, go to trade shows, you know, order the nail magazines and things like that. Go on the websites. You know, never stop learning and never stop being inspired. I haven't done nails in a salon since, it's been about 7 years. And having now just recently picked it back up, everything is different. People weren't doing all this 3D stuff and flowers and gluing things on top of the nails, and, you know, that wasn't popular, you know, 7 years ago. So I almost feel like a newbie, because it's like, wow, okay, I have to get into all this stuff and, you know, learn how to do this, and, you know, I'm practicing and things like that. So, you know, always be informed and, you know, keep up with what's going on. So this video is almost 22 minutes long. I hope it was helpful. If anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to help. I may even do a follow-up video if, you know, there's just a lot of questions. But, you know, watch it again, take notes, you know, really think about the things that I said. And, yeah, so I hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.